Thanks, guys, and welcome back to the Daily Iowan TV Sports Studio.
Before we get to Thursday night's mat side coverage, there's new information out regarding former women's field hockey coach Tracy Griesbaum.
4 members of the women's field hockey team have decided to take matters into their own hands as they filed a Title IX complaint against the university.
The 4 athletes' complaint alleges that the firing of their former coach was a result of a gender-biased pattern of firings that have occurred over the last 5 years. They state that the coaching methods, complaints by athletes, investigation regarding coaches, and coaching standards are handled differently in regards to male and females.
From here, the complaint will be turned over to the branch of the U.S. Department of Education for further investigation.
The Iowa wrestling team faces another big challenge this weekend as the top-ranked Hawkeye Grapplers will travel east to face the Terrapins of Maryland on Friday and the 5th-ranked Penn State Nittany Lions on Sunday. Wrestling reporter Zach Mackey has more.
This weekend, it's 2 opponents for the Hawkeyes as they travel out east to take on newcomers to the Big Ten, Maryland, and then head out to University Park, Pennsylvania. The Hawkeyes are 11-0, just the 4th time under head coach Tom Brands as this squad has got a perfect start. The Penn State duel has eyes drawn to it, but Coach Brands says the squad can't look past Maryland.
Maryland is first, and we can't overlook them. But, you know, you have maybe one eye on it right now, but when we get in the plane and end up in College Park, Maryland, we got to be ready for Maryland. And then when we're done with them, then we travel to State College and get ready for Penn State. But maybe right now this week we have an eye on them just because I think that's what you do, especially in it's combined the same weekend. It's a Friday-Sunday weekend.
Maryland is currently 5-12 overall and winless in the Big Ten. Bobby Telford will be one of 2 Hawkeyes to go up against a ranked opponent when in Maryland, but he is looking forward to getting near his old stomping grounds in Pennsylvania.
There's a personal tie with their coach and the state of Iowa. There's some personal ties with their team and us and me and everybody else. But yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's Big Ten wrestling. That's why you don't go to some little school that wants you bad. That's why you come to Iowa or in the Big Ten, because you want to compete against these guys week in and week out.
The Hawkeyes are 4-0 on the road this year and hope to keep this going as Penn State is 10-2 overall and 6-2 in Big Ten play. This duel is expected to break attendance records for collegiate wrestling.
2 years in a row, they could set the attendance record, and that's a tribute to their fans and their program and what their fans think of their program. I don't know if we're glad to be a part of it, but I know that it's another test on the road.
With a sweep this weekend, Iowa will clinch at least a share of the Big Ten Conference regular season title for the 7th time in the last 8 years. Zach Mackey, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Thanks, Zach. And 2 Hawkeye wrestlers in particular, along with their fiery coach, enjoy the task of crashing parties on the road. The Hawks will look to redeem themselves against Cale Sanderson's squad after a home loss just a season ago. The team is preparing for yet another hostile environment this weekend.
Like Minnesota, every time we step on the mat, they're saying our names, they're booing us. I like that. It feels good.
And loud boos were heard throughout the night from Gopher fans as the Hawkeyes racked up another victory last weekend. Coach Tom Brands' crew has proved to be some of the toughest road warriors this season, enjoying the hostile environments.
Me and Telford were talking about the other day, some guys don't like going on the road. They don't like that environment, but guys like me and him, we love it. We're the bad guys, and we get to play the bad guy role when we go on the road.
The Hawkeyes have taken on the role as the bad guys, currently at 4-0 on the road this year, with all 4 wins against ranked opponents. Up first, they beat number 23 ranked Rutgers 27-9, following number 7 ranked Big Ten opponent Ohio State, putting a beating on number 8 ranked Oklahoma State in Stillwater, and claimed their number 1 seed, beating out the number 2 ranked Golden Gophers in Minnesota. And Coach Brands agrees that that is exactly what the team is supposed to do.
When you have big matches at home, that's a great thing. You want to put on a show for your fans and flex your muscles in the national scene. And when you go on the road, you want to, put on a show for their fans and flex your muscles on the national scene. And they're both very satisfying when you have success.
Maryland and Penn State will be the last duels on the road for Iowa before returning to Carver Hawkeye Arena, and senior Bobby Telford wants to continue the road victory mayhem.
It's not our house. Go out there, trash it, leave it in shambles, and go back to our house where it's nice, clean bed, and go to sleep.
And what I think Bobby Telford is trying to say, Jalen, is that you make the bed you lie in, and the Hawkeyes have zero intentions on ending their undefeated record.
But be sure to tune in on Sunday night's show as we'll have more updates from this weekend's wrestling meets, as well as a look at men and women's basketball teams.
And that'll do it for us here in the sports studio tonight. Greta and Nick, Back to you guys at the desk.